Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about President Duterte changing his alliances from US to China. Why President Duterte? What he is up to? I mean, we know that the US is a long partner of the Philippines, and they are the protector of the country in terms of maritime security and all. But why President Duterte would risk this friendship for a new relationship with other countries? So here just a little background of our president. He was a mayor for 23 years, a vice mayor, a prosecutor, a lawyer, governor. In short term, he is really a legit person to decide, to know about geopolitics and all. He is a smart guy, and I can tell you that President Duterte, he is just he just say what he wanted to say. No, he's not pretending. He's saying what he feel. So he's bit frank, you know. So if you're soft, then you will feel like hurting, or he hurt you or somehow of the word that he used. But he don't intend to do that, because in our country there is some area that we used to have that kind of language. We used to as a like normal language for the conversation. All right. So his parents was a governor, his father was a governor, and his mother is a part of the anti-Marcos dictatorship before, and that's a short introduction of our president. And he was a mayor of Davao, which is the fourth city or safest city in the world. It means imagine, that's almost impossible. Fourth safest city in the world. I mean, it is even located in Mindanao, where the terrorists are active. Abu Sayyaf, NPA, and MILF, you know. So this man, or our president, really have this gut to implement what he wanted, or to implement changes, because he's really a heartwarming guy, a strict but selfless person, you know. So if he will be like selfish, he can be with whoever have those powers right now that trying to changes his decision. But no, he's making decision according to the needs of the people and his country, and we salute our president. Now let's watch the video of Mr. President Rodrigo Duterte's interview. Okay, so after this video we can discuss something, and we'll talk about why the Philippines would like, or why our president would like to have a separate ways from United States. I mean, okay, let's say you have a brotherhood with somebody, you have an alliances, but our president Duterte point of view is you should be respectful. This is according to his statement. You just don't need to throw a statement and all, no. So what he mean there, like if you are going to be an alliance with somebody, you should be respectful of their culture, of their situation. Now a lot of people might think that drugs is not a big problem in our country. No, you're wrong. I can tell you that our president is right, that a drug problem is the major struggle of our country. Why it's not getting into the position or the progress that it's supposed to be. Okay, when you are a drug addict, as our president's statement, you need to rob, you need to kill somebody to sustain your vices. Unless you are son of a billionaire or millionaire, then you can just go ahead and buy your stuff and all. But if you are like average and poor people, you think of doing something just to sustain your body needs. So that will affect the safety of the city. That will affect the relationship of the family inside. That will affect the government. That will affect the political issue. that will affect the future of the youth, that will affect the lives of the Filipino people, that will affect everything, almost everything, guys. I mean, if one of your family will be involved in drugs, you will definitely be your entire family will be miserable. You know what I'm saying? So even you're not using, but one of your family are using this kind of stuff, you will definitely, your life will not be normal as it is. So our president have a campaign of war on drugs. Now the US, UN, EU are trying to throw some statement to him that he's not doing the right thing because of he's trying to kill people. But no, I'm telling you, 3,500 people, let's say 3,500 people was killed because they tried to fight back the police. Now if the police try to make things right, and the drug pusher or drug users are trying to fight back, there is no choice for the police to save his life. So not considering the media don't talk about the 800,000 surrendered pusher users to the government. I don't know, somehow the media are so biased, you know. Instead of helping to change and improve the community, they're just trying to be on side of those people who are controlling the power, who are controlling the politics and all, the market, the word, you know, it's kind of deep. We're not going to go deeper than that, but just to inform that a lot of tourists, a lot of people would like to visit the Philippines, but why they cannot, because they have a lot of friends who've been to the Philippines and they feel not safe, and that factor will also help the country. Now if you did visit the Philippines before, try to visit it now and tell the difference. I mean, I have a lot of foreign friends that they can tell, okay, I feel not safe before, and now that they came back to the Philippines and visited, they have seen a lot of dramatic changes, like the cleanliness of the area, the safety. You know, I mean, it's kind of I've been proud that these things are happening because of our president also. So, and also I am a OFW worker. Before I was planning to build a business in our country, but I can't because I know the safety measurement in our country. If I will go build a business there, it might be rough, then the lives of my family will be in danger. So it's really not safe, you know. But now I have this confidence with our new president that if I will think of my future, if I will save what I earn abroad and invest it in the Philippines, it will definitely work out. So here's the video of the interview, and okay, let's have a look and just let me know your thought, guys.
China enjoys. We're happy that China is leading the way in Asia. We're happy with the leadership of China, and we would like to establish. I know that we are friends, but I would like to go deeper in my understanding of China, understanding the people first in government, and maybe we can improve on our trade relations. And there are things which China can do to help us economically, even in the person-to-person relationship, the tourists. That's only one aspect that would give us a boost in the economy. What I see is what China has been doing to other countries, for example, Africa. It was so generous to offer to build the railways and everything. We would like to go there to make friends, but not really to ask for money, but for help. If we can have the things that you have given to other countries by way of assistance, we also would like to be a part of it and to be a part of the greater plans of China about the whole of Asia, particularly no sense in going to war. There is really no sense in going to just fighting over a body of water. We prefer to talk. We want to talk about friendship. We want to talk about cooperation. And most of all, we want to talk about business. The Chinese government, they have even built a facility which is ready for use by October 16, good to house more than 1,500. China is the only country to come out freely and a firm statement that they are supporting the fight against drugs in my country. The other countries, United States, the EU, instead of helping us, they know that we are short of money, that I am a poor country. All they had to do was just to criticize. China never criticized. They helped us quietly. It was not only after last week that I knew that the buildings are almost complete. And nobody knew it. And that is why it's part of the sincerity.
Would you describe this upcoming trip to China?
Well, in one word, I would say it's a defining moment of my presidency. To open frontiers of friendship and cooperation, enhancement when old relationship between our two countries, and some dark spots in the relationships, or better say, you may call it gray areas. So we want this totally erased, and I want to establish a more cohesive, a stronger bond between China and the Philippines. A lot of countries now, well, America is one, is for, and so with the others, allied with the West. And I said, it causes a third world war. What would be my point in insisting on the ownership of that body of water when the world is exploding? It does not bring prosperity. So I thought, maybe I can sign a treaty somewhere, partnerships in the enhancement of the agriculture. The only hope of the Philippines economically, I'd be frank with you, China. But I'm going there in friendship, to extend my hand in warm brotherhood, and also to ask for help. I must be frank. I must be honest enough to say that
Filipino President Rodrigo Duterte is set to touch down here in Beijing in just a few hours' time, and with that comes some very serious expectations about how he will be spending his time here in Beijing. Now, we know for a fact that on Thursday he will be meeting with his counterpart, President Xi, as well as other high-ranking members of the Chinese government. There will also be a business forum where you can expect that there will likely be commercial agreements that are agreed upon between members of the Filipino business community that are traveling with President Duterte to Beijing and perhaps some of their counterparts here in China. Now, on Wednesday, that's going to happen on Thursday. On Wednesday, it's far less clear in terms of how the president is planning to spend his day here. We've heard everything about trips to a drug rehabilitation center, possibly a trip to the Great Wall. Those things have not been confirmed by either the Chinese side or the Filipino side. One thing we do know that has been confirmed, however, is that the president does plan to meet with members of the Filipino community based here in Beijing. That number is roughly 500 to 600 people, depending on whom you ask, but he is expected to meet with members of that community, much like he did in Brunei. Now, whether he will take questions from that community, this is President Duterte. He has a reputation for being a bit unpredictable, so we're not sure if he's going to take questions. But if he did take questions, I think you can imagine that one of the questions that would be asked is, what does the president plan to do in relation to speaking to China about issues surrounding the South China Sea and specifically the Scarborough Shoal? You'll remember it was just a few months ago that the International Court of Arbitration in The Hague ruled that China's occupation of the Scarborough Shoal, just about 100 miles or so off the Filipino coast, was in fact illegal. That was a position long held by administrations prior to President Duterte, that they were very forceful in saying that China's occupation there of that area was not right. Now, President Duterte himself has said he agrees with that decision, that he will stand by that decision. But in regards to whether he will bring it up or not here in China, he hasn't really committed one way or another. He says he's not opposed to bringing the issue up with President Xi, but he has also said that this issue is not worth getting in the way of the warming relations between the Philippines and China. President Duterte has said that he wants to improve relations with China. He wants to start tapping into some of that vast Chinese economic potential, and he said at least on this trip, he's not going to make any what he called hard impositions in terms of standing firm on the Scarborough Shoal. So exactly what those two leaders are going to talk about when it comes to the South China Sea remains to be seen, but that does not mean that there are not very, very high expectations for what will be President Duterte's first official state visit here to China. Matt Rivers, CNN Philippines, Beijing.
President Duterte says he wants...
Alright, so that's the video. I'm gonna post another video in regards of President Duterte visit to China, and if you have any comments or opinion, just drop a comments below. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, so at least you'll be updated of our President Duterte or what's happening to the world. So alright guys, so thank you so much, hope you enjoyed the video. So until next time, please like and subscribe. Thank you.